Hello, Zero here, and welcome to another episode of the Manager Series 100% lore playthrough of Lobotomy Corporation. So, in the previous episode, we managed to deal with the White Knight, and we are now ready to return to day 1. But first, let's just take a look at our codex. So here's the Plague Doctor. And of course, White Knight. Yeah. And oh, we didn't encounter this. Alright, you might notice that there is something here. Why is it in percent? We'll explain that in a bit, but first, this is the Apocalypse Bird. Let's read the managerial guidelines first. The big bird's eyes imprison light, the long bird's arms concealed time, and the small bird's beak whispered endlessly. As long as they exist, the Apocalypse Bird will not disappear. So you've got the one from the... I think the mouth. This mouth is from the Punishing Bird, Big Bird, and of course the Justice Bird. And it's got some nice equipment. Right. Let's just go read this. Or I can just do that later. Right, let's just read this. I haven't really decided yet. This is actually news to me. I just saw this before I started the stream, so might as well go for it. Then we'll explain what I installed as a mod. Known to come when the world is filled with sin, many employees fear the advent of this abnormality. To talk about this bird, we first need to tell the story of the Black Forest. We must remember the forest that was once so peaceful and beautiful. And the apocalypse shall follow. So the Black Forest, Bina already explained a bit about this. So let's just proceed with the tale of the Black Forest. Once upon a time, 3 happy birds lived in a warm and lush forest. The birds had no names, though the creatures of the forest would call them Big Bird, Long Bird, and Small Bird. So Long Bird is Judgment Bird, and Small Bird is Punishing Bird. Everyone lived freely and happily together in the peaceful forest. The birds wanted the forest to be safe more than anyone else. That way creatures from the outside could visit and have fun. It was a warm and sunny afternoon when a stranger visited the peaceful forest. He was a traveler, pioneer, and prophet, but at the same time, he was a nobody. He wanted to enter the forest, but the birds found him suspicious, so they didn't let him in. The stranger, angered, told the birds as he left, "Soon a tragedy will befall the forest. It will be tainted with misdeeds and evil, and there will be constant conflict. The tragedies will only stop when a terrible beast appears and devours everything. The sun and moon will shine upon the forest no longer. The forest will never go back to what it was before." The birds worried about the prophecy. What if conflicts really break out and a beast shows up to harm the forest just like the man said? That's when the birds decided to become guardians of the forest. They loved this forest more than anyone else did, so they wanted to protect the creatures living in the forest and keep the peace. Big Bird, with its many eyes, decided to watch over the forest for intruders. For Big Bird's eyes could see very far, and see things we cannot see. Then somebody said, "But what if the beast shows up in the middle of the night when the sky is dark and everyone is asleep?" Worried, Big Bird burned all of its feathers to make an everlasting lamp. Now the creatures of the forest were under Big Bird's constant watch, day and night. To keep the forest peace, Longbird weighed the sins of those who entered the forest. For Longbird's scale was fair and just, and could weigh any and all kinds of sin. Then somebody said, "But what if the scale doesn't tip in either direction someday?" Worried, Longbird made a scale that always tipped to one side. That way every judgment would yield a clear verdict. Small Bird decided to punish the creature's wrongdoings with its beak. Then somebody said, "But your beak is so small, so no one would find it hurtful." Worried, Small Bird tore its mouth wide so it could swallow any creature in one bite. No one could visit the forest anymore, and bad rumors about the forest began to spread outside. I heard terrible things happen to any creature that enters the forest. The Big Bird is always watching the creatures of the forest. There's no freedom. The Longbird's scale isn't fair at all. Small Bird's punishment is so scary. The birds got upset. We work so hard to protect the forest. Why doesn't anyone appreciate our effort? Fewer and fewer visitors came to the forest. More and more creatures were complaining. Fights broke out daily. And yet the birds continued to work even harder to make the forest peaceful again, but... No, this forest is so vast and wide, 3 of us aren't enough to protect all of it. But there's no creature to protect this forest but us. If we combined our power, we could be stronger. The day when Big Bird's eyes that could see hundreds of kilometers away, Longbird who could judge any sin, and Small Bird's mouth that could devour anything united into one. Darkness fell upon the forest. Creatures screamed in terror and fear at the sight of the bird, and the forest soon fell into mayhem. Then, in the middle of all chaotic cries, someone shouted, "It's a beast! This big, scary monster lives in a black, dusky forest." The beast is here? 3 birds, now as one, looked around, but there was no one to be seen. The bird began to prowl in the forest, looking for the beast. The forest would be in trouble if the beast really showed up. But there was nothing. There were no creatures, no sun and moon, and no beast. All that was left was just a bird in the black forest. Since then, there were only nights dark as pitch. Rumor says there is a terrible beast in the black forest where no one lives. Survivor testimony. Every single light in the facility went crazy. They kept flickering and flickering. I couldn't even use my lighter. Then, the swarm light shone through it all. It looked like the waning twilight, or a growing sunrise. Then, as we all know, sunlight can't make its way into our facility. Everyone silently gazed at the light. Suddenly, darkness and a weird ray of light were enough reason to be frightened. It was scarier than anything gory we'd seen here. It was a true fear of the unknown itself. Omitted. Something from afar was coming our way. Incandescent lights like stars from outer space were marching towards us. It looked like Big Bird's eyes, but it wasn't that abnormality. I could hear these long arms scratching the floor. Someone broke the silence with a whisper. That guy over there couldn't run away in time. There was an employee kneeling on the floor. Perhaps he couldn't sense a danger approaching behind him, and once he noticed, it was too late. He couldn't even scream. Nobody would have been able to help then. He just meaninglessly struggled to move his legs, desperate to run from the beast. There was no heroic act of someone standing up against the monster, not even a yell to warn him. Everyone was just watching him, waiting for the terrible thing that was about to happen. Each step sent a tremor through the whole facility. The monster was moving with such slow steps, but it seemed so fast. In the blink of an eye, it devoured the nameless employee in one bite. And right after that, everyone started screaming in chaos. I had gone through handling countless oppressions, but that day, for the first time, I regretted ever joining the company. I was certain I wouldn't get out of there alive. This helplessness overwhelmed me. I couldn't even think about fighting back against the monster, and many others were feeling the same. I think I'm the only one who stayed sane enough to ride this among all the survivors. The company will never tell our newbies about the existence of that monster. However, I wanted to leave them a warning at the very least. That's why I'm writing this. So, this is the Apocalypse Bird. It's safe to assume that this breaches, or this shows up, when all three breach containment. Well, the small bird always breaches containment, so it's really not that hard. Right, let's just take a quick look at our people before we return. And we shall also take a look at what I installed. So now we've reached 95% of the... If you haven't noticed the codex, there was a 95% somewhere in the corner. And I think it's safe for us to use this mod to make our lives a lot easier. So I'm using the more detailed info mod. It shows additional details, and I've already shown you one of those, which is it shows the actual percent of the percent chance of success. And if we look at, say, this guy, we shall see how high. We are no longer looking at common, high, or low, or very high. We're seeing the actual percentage. I didn't install this early on because it really changes much. But since we've covered pretty much most of the game, we've already suppressed over half of the Sephira, and we've also unlocked 2 endings and 95%. So yeah, another thing, it shows the... So we're going to try it out now, just to quickly show how this works. So Victor's temperance is 103. Let's find something that we can farm temperance with. Let's go with the Void Dream. So we see this one is what we saw earlier, but now we also see their base values. So this +6 is mainly because it's got a +3, and you might notice this Sly Architect. That's also going to give a bonus in their stats. So when we take a look at Quinn is already maxed at most, but still we can work on their justice. And the important part that we want to see here is this guy. We now know that at the end of the day they will get 1 extra point. So that's going to make our life a lot easier. And yeah, in addition, we should also see the HP of the ordeals in terms of numbers, but I don't think that's worth looking at right now. Anyway, with all those out of the way, we took a long time reading the Apocalypse Bird story, and took a bit of time to talk about the mod. So current observation levels, as I mentioned, it's 95%. Let's start the game again. for the third cycle. And we got once in. Alright, let's just skip all of this. I've already chosen both, so really nothing. Are synchronized. The memory is false. Synchronized. And we now got Malkut as its robot form. Let's see who our new employee is. It's Camille. Luckily, we didn't have any Camille earlier. I guess I can hire Haru again. Yeah, I can hire Haru again. This should not take a long time. I've got my cheat sheet right off the side of the window, side of the game screen. 16. And we got Haru. Sixteen, 3, 1, 2, 1, 6, 130, 73, and 428. And let's hire them. And as I mentioned earlier, we're just going to give them the name of Love and Hate. So my plan for these episodes is we're just going to go for a quick speed run. At least for the first few episodes. I'll try to, so we're already at around 17 minutes. I'll try to record how many episodes? 45 to, I'll just focus on, I'll just focus on Haru. It's not going to level up. No way it's going to level up with just a sign. So, as I mentioned, we're at 17 minutes. I'll try to keep the next few episodes to be under 40 minutes. Yeah, it's not going to farm it at +4. We need 65 to raise the temperance. So, no point in lengthening our work. So our plan for this cycle is at least try to get a Beauty and the Beast is okay. I can get Punishing Birds this early. It's kind of annoying, but I'd rather have Punishing Bird now because we're going to get all 3 birds anyway. So I'd rather get the Punishing Bird now rather than wait. Because we're going to get the Apocalypse Bird in this cycle. And I don't think it's going to be a problem for the later part of this run, this cycle. Big Bird can be a problem, but it's got 5. So you need to be really unlucky for it to breach. Alright. Let's get Christopher in here. Zero 6. And alright, that should be okay. Alright, that's Christopher. That's that lazy look in their eyes. Sure. And it's her Adam. That doesn't look like Adam because of the stupid eyes. On 5'7" and 29. The eyes are still kind of stupid, but Adam is 0? 2980. Okay, I guess. Eyes might be a bit wrong. But it's Adam. Whatever. I just think that's Adam. Alright. Let's see what else do we have that is high level. We can use Exuvia. Or we can get something exotic like Feather of Honor. Alright, let's just get Feather of Honor. Let's be fancy. Let's be fancy. Alright, now this is some place where we can actually farm a lot. So Haru can just continuously farm this. It's not going to... I doubt that we're going to get anything really high out of this. And you got Sly Senior. So you start 45 and get plus, you got 3. Alright. So Haru got a +1. Camille got a +2. We need a bunch of Hay class. At least for this run. That's weird. Flip-off meltdown. So 55. The Radical Senior gives him a bonus. Wait, +5? Whatever. Next is going to be Quinn. Oh! He got something new. What do you know? It's a backer abnormality. So I guess we're just probably going to go for 4 days because I'm going to be reading more stuff. Whatever. Already read this. We got a backer abnormality. That's interesting. Let's just read that later. Let's grab Quinn. 1128. Hair should be darker. And 2, 4, and 2. Yeah, I recognize that smug look. That's Quinn. Let's get a close range weapon. Let's get a fun close range weapon. We already have red and white damage. Let's go for black damage. This card is fun. Let's just go with green stem. And I don't like. I'd rather just go with Hornet. Okay, we don't have space. Right. It's a cute dog. Okay, it's another backer abnormality. A super fluffy, ultra cute puppy with white fur like fresh snow. This abnormality is so cute that just taking a short little glance at it will make you feel so much better. Has the eyes of an angel and is the purest thing in the world. Further descriptions of this creature have been omitted for brevity's sake. The rest of the sentences are essentially just saying, "It's so cute" in various ways. Right. Somehow we didn't get this abnormality. Right, one. Might as well give it to... yeah, might as well give it to that. Camille and... sure, Christopher. Really hard to farm right now since we're just dealing with low value until we get the hay, and we essentially going to get haze later on. I mean, sometimes we found some weird bones from what looks like human skeleton around DO2-107, but it's just so cute. So really, who cares? Okay, that's normal. DO2-107? Wolves instinct work the most. Please don't do work other than instinct with him, or else the cliff house counter has some medium probability of lowering. Well, we were lucky that it was instinct work. When the work result was that, the cliff house counter decreased. Well, I guess we were lucky about that, and we just got 2. So again, good results will give a higher chance. So if we take a look at, alright, let's just let that stay here. We look at Christopher. Christopher got a +2 because of the good work result. There's still no cliff house meltdowns, mainly because this place is immune to cliff house meltdowns. Do you know? So fluffy and soft, it's so sweet it could cure your depression. Many of our employees have at least 55 different pictures of DO2-107 from various angles saved on their phones. If you like DO2-107, well, that's enough reason to demote you on the spot. Yeah, we read that before. Right, that's a good result. When DO2-107 escaped, it voluntarily returned to its unit after attacking an employee and taking blank from their corpse. So you can just let it kill your people? This little abnormality couldn't be evil at all. The only thing you have to worry about is your heart aching if you look at it for too long, because it's just so cute. In fact, employees who have entered this abnormalities containment unit tend to lose themselves a bit and often need to be forcibly removed from the unit by other employees. Caution needs to be taken as the assisting employees can also become captivated by its cuteness and become lost as well. Attempts to bring the abnormality out of its unit may occur from time to time, but this is not a concern as they are typically prevented by other employees. When too many employees want to work with this abnormality, a lottery will be held to decide who gets the privilege of doing so. Our employees tend to show symptoms of mental regression such as oddly toned speech with a high pitch upon entering its containment unit, but it seems this is only a temporary problem. Many of our employees refer to this abnormality as the goodest boy in the world Podé. However, its official designation is simply Podé. Make sure you don't get it confused. Every employee who enters its containment unit must upload a video or photo report of this abnormality. This is extremely uber important. sure that nobody misses this step. Company of this size will always have a rumor or two floating around. I heard that you can hear someone's bones breaking if you walk in the hallways at night. If you try to track down that sound, you'll find a Yeti who's eating one of our employees. However, we don't have an abnormality that looks anything like a Yeti. So it's Podei. We're not going to be using any of those anyway, so why bother? Alright, or insight work for Christopher, or for Camille, and more work. Podei. Let's just wrap this up before we end this day. There's really nothing stopping us from doing that. Excerpt of an audio record. You should be thankful, dude. You got a lucky chance to get to work with the goodest boy in the world today. It's bapping me with its paws. Is this an attack? Just wants you to feed him. Don't you know that it's a trend in our company to always carry a bag of dog food or two? Well, I don't really like animals. John lets out an irritated mumble. By the way, this little puppy's pretty beefy. Is that how dogs usually are? I guess this one's played a lot of catch, huh? I used to play fetch with him pretty often, just to watch how cute it was running after the ball. But we stopped for some reason. Hey, did you see its face when I fed it? It was super creepy, I swear. It's just your imagination, man. He's always like our little angel. Isn't that right? Who's a good boy? Jeez, does this thing have some kind of power to mentally manipulate people? No idea what you're on about, Jacob. You do, really, buddy. Little cutie pie. Do you? Alright, that's kind of creepy. Alright, a couple more. That's +6, but we've worked on it 3 times, so just a +2 every time. We really need the hay class. At least the hay class. Maybe if we can get a VAV class early on. I don't think the game allows VAV class early on. And as mentioned, it's Podei. HP +4, we don't like this, but it gives people dog ears. Very short, we don't like this, and that who cares at this point. Alright, it's back to John. Did you wait for me, Podei boy? Oh, hey, it's eating something. Aren't we supposed to be the first people in this unit today? My little good boy was just hungry. Man, he's just so cute. Look at how he's numbing on that. What the hell is it chewing on? Shit, I knew it. That's James' finger, man. He went missing during the last patrol shift. Can't you see the nail? Remember him bragging about having a heart painted on its nails? Told you, dude. This thing's up to no good. I can't believe it. Ooh. This abnormality is a killer. I get that you're shocked. I told you a bunch of times that there's no way a cute pet like it could be harmless in this place. Man, I'm glad you finally came to your sense. Who couldn't feed him on time? Poor little guy's been starving all night. It's so heartbreaking. Well, I think we're supposed to suppress it? How could you even suggest doing something so heartless to kill a little good boy like this? Just look at his eyes. How could an innocent animal do anything wrong? Isn't that right, you good little cutie boy? The abnormality shows no reaction. Only the sound of a bone being gnawed on is audible. Dude, your little angel is gnawing on our colleague's finger. What are you, a newbie? Don't you know everything's Everything cute is forgiven here? I've never heard that. I seriously don't think it's true. You gotta tranquilize it, and if you don't, then I'll do it myself. Sound of a tranquilizer shot can be being fired can be heard. No! Abnormality begins to whimper. The recording cuts off after a bit of shouting. Following the evidence I provided in the recording, I request that Jacob be immediately demoted for firing such a thing at Puday. Terrible, evil animal abuser has no right working in our company. Our goodest boy in the world, Puday, has been traumatized by this incident. He'll only eat 5 kilograms of his favorite snack now. To help him cope with the trauma, I suggest we request a new snack for Puday. Premium grade salmon, rich with vitamin D. I'll be waiting for your reply. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those 50-50 things. Does it have a mental attack that makes people like it? Or is it just because it's a cute boy? I personally think it's just a cute animal, cute abnormality. Reply: your requests have been accepted. In your next message, please make sure you attach 5 different photos of the goodest boy in the world today. Thank you in advance. Alright, so yeah, this is a backer abnormality. It's essentially mostly just semi-canon. Even though we take advantage of some of the better abnormalities. Alright, we'll just work on that later. Yes. Work on the stuff later. Alright, the easiest one to work on is Surisha. Surisha does not have any... Doesn't automatically kill you. It doesn't kill people, it makes them panic. So that's better than insta-death. So that's safe. Okay, I'll just finish this day. Right, more per day. Haru's still not. Haru just missed it. I'll just let Haru work on it for once. Adam, Christopher. Then I'll let Camille work on this. I can send Christopher to work on for Prudence. Who's the closest? 53. I'll let Christopher work on this instead. Uh, 20 and 25. We don't have the extraction team to help us, but that shouldn't matter. It's just odd. Alright, we'll try to get the 65 out of this for Camille. And we are nearing 40 minutes, so I'll just end this episode by reading what we get out of the day. Haru's already 65. I think it should be safe to give it to someone else. Right, who else? Camille needs 2 more working with that. Can give it to Adam or Christopher. Christopher's still working on that, so I'll just give it to Adam. Camille still needs 3, so we're gonna work on it 2 times. 5. And +4, yeah. Christopher's okay with that. +3. need to do more dashing work. And I'll just give it to Adam. I'll just give it to Christopher though. I think that's better for Christopher. Haru's okay with this. Right, +4, we need 1 more. Alright, let's just not give it to that. I'll just give it to this. Let's see if 65 is enough. And 1 more for that. Let's see if that raises the level by 1. 65. Alright, that should be enough. Yeah, it's enough. 65 is enough to raise it. It can be better. I don't need to read that, even though it's a new thing. Wait, I think that's it for this episode. Yeah, that's it for this episode. We're just going to read the new egos we got. So cute. One may think, how can a weapon drawn from such a cute abnormality be any good? However, the claws are actually quite durable and sharp. Beware that the beast inside you may awaken if you use this weapon too much. Oh, but the soft jelly-like paws feel very nice to the touch. Damn it. It's so cute. The name is so cute. By the way. And we read that first part. Alright, it's pretty much the same description. Okay. And yeah. That's it for this episode. I'm trying to keep it around 40-minute mark. Next episode, we are going to try to complete the information team if there's no new abnormality. If there's a new abnormality, we might reach day 10 or day 9 or day 10. Anyway, that's it for this episode. New episodes go up on YouTube every day at 12 midnight UTC or 8 a.m. Philippine time. I also stream this on Twitch. Let's stream me recording this on Twitch, but again, there's no set schedule. For example, I'm recording this at 2 a.m. in the morning Philippine time, just because I screwed up my sleeping habit when I was trying to do the White Knight suppressions. Anyway, that's it for this episode. See you in the next one.